alive. I agree with the notion of compassion to all living things. We are all connected. Our actions matter. Karma is a cycle of cause and effect. Virtuous actions create happiness, and non-virtuous actions create suffering. The forces of good and evil are prevalent in our daily lives, yet angels are celestial, benevolent beings traveling from the heavens to earth, protecting humanity. Perhaps the conversations of angels with humans throughout history suggest existence. Those prophets and saints, speaking of divine visions, delivered messages of hope. Truly, with hope, we can endure most anything we encounter. Now, on our show, we have guests, topics related to ethereal beings, myths, legends, aliens, UFOs, angels, tips to a peaceful inner spirit, empathy. Now, on today's show, we have international dream analyst Layne Dalfen. And before she joins us, I would like us to do a relaxation visualization. So if you could all join me, it's a great way to start your day. Okay. We will create vivid mental images in our mind's eye, bringing positive emotions such as joy, happiness, and hope. Blessings. Our intention today is for your brain and heart to join with you through a stream of spinning light. Let's realize connecting your mind, body, spirit to divine light will shed darkness in yourself and unblock your true potential and passions. Your streaming light visualization begins now. Please find a comfortable position, sitting or laying down. Let's close our eyes and begin to relax your mind and body. Let's breathe out old energy. And we're going to deeply breathe 3 times. Inhale and exhale. Now together, let's scan our body for stress and tension from the top of our head, our crown chakra, to the tip of our toes. Now, as you're sitting there peacefully, you become aware of a stream of light. This beautiful light encircles your whole body. This glowing light. Immediately, you feel relief come over your being. Your spirit knows that this is good. The band of light is wide, a foot wide. Its glistening, vibrant, and powerful sparks of light touch your arms, elbows, and hands. The light spins clockwise 3 times around you. Honestly, you feel peaceful, pure, and comfortable. The stream of stunning white light in color spins now counterclockwise direction 3 times. It's freeing you from all toxic negative energy. The band of light begins to expand, moving closer, excitement and hope as you are engulfed in it. This is no longer a fantasy. The dreams that you wished for are here. Accepting yourself, this light offers you happiness and love. The light is in your every pore, cell, and organ, flesh, and bone. Your spirit is awakened. Your brain and heart join to gain strength. The past is gone, and you have a power found from this light. And it slowly diminishes old thoughts and past mindsets. Surrender today a feeling of joy, peace, and grace. I will count backwards to 3, and you will open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, I hope that was a little help relaxing you to start your day. I'd like to move on. Our guest is going to be here shortly to this beautiful Buddhist prayer. Let's focus on the meaning. So with a boundless heart, should one cherish all living things, radiant kindness over the entire world, upwards towards the sky, downwards towards the depths, omitting none. May you be happy, may you be at ease, may you be free from danger, may you be loved. Okay, so today's guest, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her and a little bit about what the topic is. It's pretty exciting to me because I actually put together a dream journal, and that's what today's guest is all about, dreams, which is so important. Our sleeping dreams, our waking dreams are important too. I have a quote from Carl Jung, Swiss psychiatrist, founded analytical psychology. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. Now, dreams are the mind's expression of our subconscious thoughts, seen as images, symbols, circumstances while sleeping. Dreams bring awareness of a subject to the forefront of our mind. Our dreams matter, giving awareness during our waking life. It may be a warning or a premonition dream that can assist you in the future. Pay attention to dates, details, and circumstances. Our dreams guide us in the direction that we should move towards. Writing in a dream journal allows a pattern to emerge. Why don't you make available a pad of paper next to your bed that you can jot down your dreams, because sometimes we don't remember them a few moments after we wake up. We're going to ask questions to Layne, our dream analyst, and she will probably give us information that we can't find most anywhere else. Now, our guest today, Layne Dalfen, is an international dream analyst, and she's located in Canada. She's the founder of the Dream Interpretation Center, and she founded that in 1997. She is the author of 2 dream books. Book 1 and 2 of Have a Great Dream, which you have a great dream book, 1 and 2. And you can find those. I looked them up on Amazon, and you can watch and read, or you can read them through Kindle. She's a columnist for psychologytoday.com. And her interest in dreams stems from her early experience in Freudian analysis. She gives lectures and workshops and many, many brilliant appearances on live radio. And she has social media with Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. So let's welcome Layne Dalfen. Hold on, I'm just going to move things around here. Where are you? Here you go. Hi. Welcome. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here, I'm just going to put your name up. There you go. So Layne is the founder, like I just spoke of the Dream Interpretation Center. And I did go online and I looked that up through your website. Right?
Right. HaveAGreatDream.com.
Yes. And we are all so fascinated by our sleeping dreams. And I wanted to ask you, what are some basic essential meanings that you can tell us about dreams? We'll get right into it. Like some common dreams would be recurring dreams, flying, nightmares.
Right.
And
well,
you
the
tell
important thing is that a dream is a conversation that you're having with yourself about a very specific current issue. Because before we go deep, at the top level, a dream is triggered by something that either happened to you yesterday or something that you thought about yesterday. And we prioritize. So the same way you wake up in the morning in your conscious life and you say, who do I have to call? Who do I have to email? And you set up your day. When you go to sleep tonight, after maybe you've had 5 or 10,000 things happened to you today. And I'm including every time you answered the phone, every time you had something to eat, every conversation you had, every thought you had. You probably have 10,000, 15,000 things happen. And when you go to sleep tonight, your unconscious is going to prioritize the one thing that's bugging you the most. And you are going to have all night tonight, you're going to have different dreams that look different. But when you know how to deconstruct the images, you realize that you're actually having a conversation with yourself about that very specific current issue. And of course, the solution to something that's bothering you arrives in your unconscious before it gets to your conscious. So that's the prize you get for dream analysis, is that you can get it faster. You can propel your problem solving skills. I'm just thinking about, because when you find the dream, and there's 6 different, I call them points of entry, that I'm going to give you today that help you uncover why you had that dream last night. And what I do is I listen to the dream and I get attracted to a certain point of entry, one of the 6. I'll just tell you what they are.
Okay.
The feelings, the
Feeling.
repetition.
I kind of want to write this down. You know what? I'll watch it back. So feelings.
It's the feelings, the repetition, the
Repetition.
symbols, the action, the play on words and puns, and the plot. And so it doesn't matter which of those points of entry you want to use, because whatever it is, that whatever method you use to enter the dream, if that doesn't work, you can try another point of entry. It's exactly like doing a puzzle, and you're always looking to uncover from the dreamer, not from me, but from the dreamer, what is the situation in your life that triggered the dream? So, for example, recently I had a woman who told me that she dreamt she got a brand new puppy. And she's so excited about the puppy that she puts him on the table in front of her so she could look at him eye to eye. And all of a sudden, she's like so happy. And all of a sudden, the puppy poos all over the table, all over her, and there's a big mess everywhere. And so I was looking at the feelings and the change that happened in the feelings. Or maybe you might want to call that the plot, which is very similar point of entry. And I asked her, what do you think happened in the last few days? Some situation that feels new and happy and very suddenly takes a very messy turn for the worst, because that's what happened in the dream. And she got it immediately. It was the new job. She got a brand new job that she was so excited about. And after she was working there for a few days, she realized that the boss is a really abusive guy. And so that piece comes from play on words. As when someone is abusive, you might say that, excuse the expression, that they're crapping on you. And so that's where she gets that imagery with the puppy. And so what I did, because I'm a big solution finder, and I believe that you do, and I've been doing this for 48 years, and the dream positively, absolutely gives you the solution. And so that you can problem solve faster. And one of the ways that you can find a solution is to solve the puzzle of the dream outside in your waking life. So I asked her, if you really had a puppy and you really put him up on the table and he really made a big mess everywhere, what would you do? And she said, well, the first thing I would do is take it off the table.
Right.
So I'm always listening to the dreamer's language as opposed to my own, because I don't want to project. I mean, sometimes I do want to project the dreamer's ability to say to me, yes, Layne, that really resonates, or no, that doesn't really fit for me. And so for her, I asked her, what does that expression mean? Take it off the table. Do you want to guess, Mary?
Say what?
Do you want to guess what that expression
Well, I was actually
means?
thinking that she maybe shouldn't take the job.
Well, she was already in the job, but for her, when she takes something off the table, she said to me, I asked her, what does that mean? She said, it means that it's not negotiable. When I take something off the table,
Okay.
I'm done. It's over. And so that's what she understood, and she quit the job
Right.
that day.
That was what I
So
would say.
even
I
if
would
she
quit the job.
didn't remember her dream, she would have quit the job anyway, but maybe it would take a month. But
Right.
because you understand the dream, you can act faster on it.
Mhm.
So that's
Interesting.
so
Can
yeah.
you can
So
you give us is there, after hearing this explanation, I'm wondering if you even can define if someone's flying in a dream, it really has to do with their personal situation.
excellent. Yes.
So
And
it's not
so
even, you're not going to have,
it's a
right.
common image that
Mhm.
happens for different reasons with different people on a particular day.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
another woman using the symbols point of entry, she
Mhm.
dreams that this was just a few weeks ago
Mhm.
or about a month ago. She was dreaming that she was in a class of some kind, and there's a teacher passing out ballots, except to her. And everybody in the room has a ballot
Right.
except her. And
Right.
so I asked her, because you cannot look this up in a book, you have to talk to the dreamer. And that's why I wrote Have a Great Dream, to
Okay.
teach you what questions to
Bring that
ask
up.
yourself.
I have a little, this is your book right here.
Oh, nice. Very good. And so that book, by the way, it's only like 100 pages, and
Mhm.
it teaches you,
Mhm.
by the time you're finished the 100 pages, you know exactly how to do it. And then book 2 will take you deeper in if you want to have a deeper discussion.
Mhm.
But I asked her, using a symbols point of entry, what comes to your mind when you think about a ballot? Like if I was a little girl and I don't know what that word means, how would you define it for me? And she said, a ballot is my voice, it's my choice. And so, because in the plot
Mhm.
story, she's the only one that doesn't have a ballot, I asked her, is there some situation going on in your life this week in which you don't feel like you have your voice or
Mm.
your choice?
Mm.
It was because she, over a year ago, broke off a relationship with a man who's an alcoholic. And
Ooh.
her friends and her family were really supportive at the time. And now a whole year has gone by, and she ran into this man, and he's not really drinking anymore. And so he says, and so she decided, after seeing him a while, that they want to get back into the relationship. And she was too scared. The dream happens because she's too scared to express her want, because
Mhm.
she already knows that her parents and her friends are not going to support the decision. And my
Right.
question was, even though I'm Canadian, my question was, how is it in the United States? What happens when you have a ballot? What's the situation? And she said, you go into a place where you're by yourself, you're in a booth, and you get a chance to voice your choice.
Mhm.
And there's no one else there with you. And
Mhm.
that was the solution to the dream. That
Mhm.
dreamer needed to use her voice and
Right.
her choice. And she did get back together with him. And the dream encouraged her to take her ballot out and announce to the family and her friends her decision to get back together with him again. You see what I mean? So
Yes.
you always find a perfect, a perfect reflection once you uncover why you had that dream.
Mhm. Um. Do
Well,
you think that you,
yeah,
okay, so I'm going to in a different direction for a minute. Do you believe that you can be warned in a dream, a premonition of something that's going to happen?
yes, I do. I believe that all of us have
Mhm.
ESP, and all
Mhm.
of us have intuition.
Okay.
And there's a lot of things that you're seeing, first of all, that your unconscious is seeing and that you're picking up on and
Mhm.
that you're not consciously aware of. So
Mhm.
sometimes you really are having a vision, and
Mhm.
sometimes you're not. You're
Mhm.
just seeing something that you already know, but
Right.
you're just not looking at it, like, and so, but for me, my area of
Mhm.
expertise is the analysis of the story of the dream, and how does it reflect what's going on in my life and what I'm attempting to problem solve. But we are multitasking. And so I know a woman, this is from so many years ago, but I still remember that she was dreaming that she was in a motel and she ran into a family called the Talk family. That's their name, T-O-K. And they were looking for a room. And so she hadn't seen the Talk family in many, many years. And once we started talking about where she knows that family from, it linked her to the summer camp that she used to go to, which is the same place where she met her boyfriend, who she needed to talk to. This is in 1997. And so that was a play on words and puns. She used, that's that point of entry, is because we use puns and play on words in our sleep as often as we do in our waking life. And so she used the Talk family to say something to herself about talking to her boyfriend, because she needed to say something to him. And then about 2 weeks after she had that dream, the ice storm happened in Montreal and upstate New York. And all the electricity was off. This is in 1997. All the electricity was off for like over a month in a lot of places. And many people had to move out. And she was one of them. And she really did go to a hotel looking for a room. And she ran into the Talk family. And
No, that's synchronicity.
Yes, and it's also multiplicity. So she's getting a vision of the future, but for me, when she comes to me, my job is to uncover the mirror of what situation she's looking to problem solve in her waking life. And I also often say, if I dream about my father, because all the parts of the dream are parts of you. You're the director, you're the producer, you are all the actors. And so, because the story comes from you. And so you make it up using all the memories and associations that you have in your unconscious, or I'm over 50, so I call it a filing cabinet. And when you want to say something to yourself, the filing cabinet opens up and all these different memories are there, able for you to be able to say something to yourself. That's the dictionary you use, is all your memories and associations.
Layne, I have been saying, because I did do this dream journal and put this out, because I did do my own research. There was a couple of questions I had related to that. One is, do you believe that a nightmare is really not something you should run from? You should stand still and pay attention to the details, because it's going to give you information.
And even run closer to, like the woman who has a rhinoceros chasing her, and she's running away in the dream. The thing about the rhinoceros, that energy is part of you. And well, here, I'm just going to go deep for a minute so you understand that when we come into the world, because I'm always talking about, or this morning, I've been talking about the first level and how something's bothering you this week, and it's played out in the dream to help you problem solve. But on a deeper level, when we come into the world, we come into the world whole. I want to remember to...
You do. I love that.
I just wrote this down because I don't want to forget.
Okay.
That,
tell me.
When I was saying that we are multitasking and that all the parts of the dream represent different parts of you. If I dream about my father, for example, my late father, he represents the part of me, that business male part of my personality. So if I have to go on a business trip away from my lovely daughters and granddaughters, if I have to leave the family, I'm going to dream about my father, because that moves me to get in touch with that male side of my personality. But how do you and I know that it's also not my dad visiting me? It may
Right.
be him visiting me.
It
Maybe
could be him visiting you and
Of
giving you
course.
strength, but giving you the masculine energy and
Exactly.
strength. Because I
So
had
I
two.
believe all of it is true. It
Okay.
really is him. I mean, sometimes maybe not, but personally, the way I look at it, because I am a spiritual person,
Okay.
off the record, because on the record,
No,
I'm
we're
doing
on the show. It's
psychology.
on the record.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
about
But I just think
spiritual.
that it's all happening simultaneously. And I
Right.
was going to say that when you come into the world,
Mm,
you arrive with everything. You
right.
could be shy, you can be assertive, you can be a hero, a
Oh,
chicken. Maybe you're the one who's always giving, and maybe you're a style of personality that's always on the receiving end. So there's the initiators and the receivers. And if you think about it in your life, are you the person that's always calling your friends to make plans? Or are you the one who's always on the receiving end? Or maybe you were a joker in the family, or maybe you're a more serious person. So
mhm.
we become what I call over exercised in certain aspects of our personality
Okay.
because the people that bring us up teach us that it's better to be one way than another way. So if you grew up in a home with siblings, you probably got the message that it's not okay to be selfish, because you hear sentences like, go share your toys with your sister, go look after your brother. And your whole life experience is
Or,
about sharing your parents.
okay, or you could grow up in a family with siblings and everyone's competing and taking, and you have to try to kind of overcome everyone and get what you want and take it away. It's not.
Excellent. And so that's right. So that's why I don't like to paint with a big brush. But
Okay,
I
good.
do like to say that if you grew up in a home with siblings, and
Mm,
if the message you got in one way or another from your parents is that it's not okay to be selfish,
mm,
those are the people in the world, myself included, whose knee jerk,
mm,
over exercised part is to always accommodate. And those are the people that don't know how to say no. And the
mm,
only problem with the over and under exercised aspects of our personality,
mhm,
and that woman, her under exercised part, for example, is that rhinoceros that's chasing her. And
mhm,
so you want to take back these shadowy, unexercised parts of yourself,
mhm,
because in my world, in my personal opinion, there's
mm,
no good or bad. There's
mm.
no right or wrong.
Right,
There is appropriateness. Am I responding to today's situation in the most appropriate way for me? And
right.
so if I was taught like this fellow, Stephen, he's climbing up a ladder and there's paper everywhere. And his college roommate, who he hasn't seen in like 30 years, is at the top of the ladder encouraging him up.
Mhm,
And Stephen had that dream. Uh,
mhm.
I'm just moving quickly because we
Yeah.
don't have a lot of time.
Well, yeah.
He had that dream because the day before, his friends asked him to go see a movie.
Mm,
And the truth is, Stephen didn't really want to see a movie because
mm,
he's got so much paper on his desk.
mhm.
He wants to work and
Right,
clean up his desk.
right.
But because he's an accommodator and
Okay.
he's under exercised in saying no, he
Mhm,
didn't say anything.
mhm,
And there he's got this dream happening.
mhm,
And so what I asked him, using a symbols point of entry, which is similar to the ballot dream, I
mhm,
asked him, tell me, what are the first few things that come to your mind about that roommate? And
mhm,
right away, the first thing out of Stephen's mouth was, he
mm,
was a real selfish, take care of me first kind of guy.
mhm,
So this is his association that's
mhm,
coming out of Stephen's database,
mhm.
which can't possibly be the same as anybody else's. Your associations are as unique as your
Right.
fingerprint. And he uses that character, that
Mhm,
shadowy, under-exercised part of himself that
mm,
he associates with the roommate, because he
mm.
needs to access that.
Okay.
It's the appropriate response in his current situation. And because he understood that, the next day, once he understood the dream, he called his friends and said, I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to a movie with you guys tonight. because I'm going to go stay at the office and finish that mess on my desk.
I like that you're sharing explanations, and it gives more information about where that actual image or symbol or circumstance is coming from.
Excellent.
And you
Yes.
can apply it to something.
Yeah, because you don't want to end up, I mean, I'm 68. You don't want to end up at 68 years old still responding to every different situation that happens to you with your knee-jerk response.
Right.
Because me, for example, I grew up in a family where it wasn't okay for me to open up and express my feelings because that would have been considered disrespectful, right?
Okay.
And so I learned to become under-exercised in speaking up and over-exercised in shutting up. But that doesn't always fit, because if I have an argument with Andy, my husband, I don't want to be standing there shaking in my boots like I'm 7 years old and he's my father, because that would be an inappropriate response. But if I'm going to visit my bank manager because I want to negotiate a loan or something, and he says something that doesn't sit right with me, well, then maybe my knee-jerk reaction to shut up might fit that particular situation. So the reason I do dream analysis, really, and the reason I'm here today is to tell you that bad news is we are completely powerless over changing anybody else. And we are so powerful about changing ourselves. And that's what you want to do. You want to spend your time looking at these different characters and how they fit in your life, in your dreams, and you want to exercise them. I'm not saying that change is easy, but I am here to say that change is possible. And if you focus in on working on yourself, I promise you that people around you change when you change.
Layne, do you do dream work, which is what Native American Indians would put together, where they'd sit together and they would they would ask themselves questions before they would go to sleep? And do you work
Yes.
that? Okay.
You can incubate, that's called dream incubation. And you can definitely do that. If you have something that's bothering you, you can write a question down and ask, not only ask for an answer, but you can ask for an answer in metaphors that are easier for you to understand. So you don't have to do the job of trying to uncover why you use that certain image. And what you can do is walk around with the question. Ask yourself, read it off the paper a couple of times during the day. Sometimes I'll use the question and put it under my pillow at night. And the best way to bring on a dream is as you're falling asleep, think about how this situation makes you feel. How does it make you feel? And if that's the last thing that you're bringing up while you're going to sleep, chances are excellent that you will dream up something that has to do with that same subject.
Okay, you just brought up something I wanted to ask you. I read a question that you had written about remembering your dream. If you wake up and then there's a technique you have about remembering your dream.
There is.
Okay.
There is. And if you go to haveagreatdream.com and if you click on videos, you will find, and it's on YouTube also, and I think YouTube, you find me at the Dream Interpretation Center. And there's what I call dream tidbits.
Okay.
And if you watch, they're all under a minute. And I give you these little dream tidbits, little lessons that you can learn about dreams. And tidbit number 1 and 2 talk about dream recall. And my personal favorite comes from Robert Bosnak, a wonderful Jungian dream analyst and therapist. And he talks about you can start with your watch. You take your watch off, look at it, check out the hands, and study the watch, and then close your eyes and imagine the watch in your mind's eye. Or another way is to look all around the room and look at the pictures and the furniture and everything in the room, and then close your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
walk around the room in your mind's eye, because that's the facility that you need to remember a dream. It's that in and out. What did I just see? Like sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'll say to myself, where was I?
Mm-hmm.
Where was I just now? And it sort of helps me go back there.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, that's a good technique I'm going to use. I've had experiences that I have had been in a bedroom with someone, and I woke up and we both had the same dream, but from a different perspective. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, of course I've heard of it, no, yes, I've heard of it, not that often,
Right.
and it's not really the big focus for me because
Right.
once,
But I mean,
but I'll
I
tell you
thought,
what,
since
I'll tell
you're
you
an
what.
expert on this.
Andy and I have been married for 33 years.
Right.
How often does it happen? It's constant.
Right.
It happens constantly. And I just love it that
Okay.
he might be, I mean, this is before I'm giving you a pre-coronavirus situation
Mm-hmm.
where he might be in the shower and I'm sitting in bed thinking to myself, gee, I'd love to go to a movie tonight, where we haven't even talked about this. And he comes out of the shower and says, so you want to go to a movie tonight? So these things happen constantly. Or yesterday, I know he went out shopping and I wanted soap and toothpaste because I'm out of it. And I called him to ask him while he's in the grocery store, could he please bring home some soap and a toothpaste? And he had to take a picture because when I called him, he was standing right at the scope and the toothpaste. So these things happen constantly. And why wouldn't it make sense? It makes perfect sense that he might go to sleep and use certain images one night and that I might use those same images. That happens all the time. And if you do a working dream group where you're working with the same group of people, let's say over a weekend, if you do like, what is it called? What's the matter with me? Well, if you sign up for a group and you do the same people for the same 2 or 3 or 4 days, or even if you do it over a period of months, but it's the same group of people that keep meeting, you walk in and, you know, I had it where 4 out of the 7 people in the group all dreamt about a giraffe.
Really?
That
Do you
happens
think
all the
that? Do you
time.
think that maybe you're non-verbally sharing energy,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
where it's coming from? Because when I've had dreams that are the same as someone else's, but a different viewpoint of it, like the same things happened, we hadn't even experienced any of the things in the dream, but somehow our energies
Yes.
passed over. I don't know if I was having his dream or he was having my dream, or we just had a dream
But it
that
would still, but once you analyzed it, it would still, all of a sudden, even though you used similar images, it will all of a sudden become personal and related to that specific issue in your life that you're trying to problem solve. That's what's so miraculous, because especially in the States right now, I want to say that dream analysis is the absolute antithesis of group think. There's not like the group think when you're doing dream analysis. It's about looking in at yourself and celebrating how unique and different each of us are. It's just a wonderful and more healthy place to come from than to be in this large group trying to change the whole other group. It's not going to work. The way to peace is looking in and celebrating the differences and the uniqueness of all of us, because we are all as unique as a fingerprint, and all of us are on our own path. Nobody's doing something to you. It's not about doing something to you. Everybody's just on their own path, learning their own life lessons, with their own associations, their own life, their own background, their own parents.
Okay, before we go, because our time's up, this is about our destiny. And I've experienced that my dreams are sending me information to go into a certain direction. Do you also agree with that?
I do highly agree with you.
Okay.
And I don't think they're random or an accident.
Okay.
Like a person like Stephen's roommate who appears after 30 years of not seeing him. It's not random that he appears in the dream. One of my tidbits, I say that that if I'm aggravated with Andy and I have a dream but that filing cabinet will open up and inside every single boyfriend I've ever had in my life is in the same file with Andy. And they are all interchangeable. And so is my brother and my father in the same file because both of them are male family members, as Andy is a male family member. And so they all get put in and then they become interchangeable. So if he made me feel rejected yesterday,
Okay.
and I'm trying to work out that issue, I won't necessarily dream about Andy. Maybe I'm going to dream about a guy that I went out with when I was 16 years old who made me feel rejected.
I understand.
Your unconscious is going to very specifically, because we're very sophisticated, and it's going to choose the right person that you need to access at a particular time. Right.
You write down your dreams?
I do.
Okay. Okay, so I wanted to just remind everyone that they can find Layne's book on beside. I found it on Amazon. Is it?
Yeah,
also
Amazon,
on your website?
Barnes and Noble, and if you go to my site, which is the same name as the books,
Right.
haveagreatdream.com.
Yes.
If you click on the link, buy the books, then I link you right to Amazon in Canada and in the United States, and Barnes and Noble and the rest of them.
And Layne has an Instagram, which is Layne_dream analyst. Facebook.
No, Dream Analyst.
Dream analyst. What'd I say?
Dream analysis.
Ugh. Sorry. So
okay,
it's
it's early in the
Layne_dream and analyst. Say it again. What'd you say?
It's Layne, Layne
Right.
_dream analyst.
Which is
And
on the post.
On
It's
Twitter, I'm Dream Analyst also.
Oh, you're right. And then YouTube, the Dream Interpretation Center, which is where we can find tidbits about how to discover information in your dreams and problem solve. And then Facebook is also the Dream Interpretation Center.
That's it.
And I am really so grateful that you came and told us about points of entry and how to kind of understand our dreams more and not be afraid. And I think that if you, like you said, if you're having a nightmare, instead of running away from it, stay there or go towards it. And
right, because that woman with the rhinoceros, she was procrastinating a situation at work. And so she needed to get that energy from the rhinoceros to help her move forward with power and take care of what needed to be taken care of.
Okay, well, I'm deeply grateful for your visit here today. I've been fascinated by dreams. I've been writing my dreams down since 2014, and you're the very first person that has any kind of knowledge or education in this area. So I'm grateful, and I hope everyone can go to Layne's site, haveagreatdream.com.
That's it. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you for coming this early, and have a wonderful day, and stay in touch.
You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, well, that was so much information. I have to go back and watch that and learn, and I wonder what my dreams will be like tonight. Before I do the gemstone, I wanted to do a quick, simple suggestion, because I have clients that I've worked with, and I've given them helpful tips to a peaceful inner spirit. So there's a few things that I would like to mention. One is, let's talk about our boundaries, and this will help with self-love. So I always say that you should have a area about this far away from you that is your personal space. And we do have a energy field around us. So funny enough, let's just say that it's in that space. And it's an invisible line in your mind that I would like you to have. And this way you are protecting yourself. If you're in a situation or you're around someone that is not giving you your space, if you can visualize in your mind this invisible line, without even realizing, the person will eventually sense that. And it's a way of protecting yourself and your heart, and you're giving yourself some room. With the way life is, sometimes without realizing, people come into our space and they don't realize that we feel uncomfortable with it. It's funny, I'm getting my throat's clogging up, which means that this has been an issue for me. And so I'd like to remind you of that. And if someone does invade this space, you can ask them to leave and don't come so close. Maybe tell them, that's close enough, or, it's sacred. This is our sacred space, and we should not allow people in our space that we don't feel comfortable with. That's the first thing that I would like to suggest. And now the second thing is, if we are feeling overwhelmed, lost, detached, there's a couple of things that we can do to ground ourselves. And grounding ourselves helps us to feel that we're in the present moment. So what I would like you to do, if you're not outside in nature, you can do this by, if you want to grab your feet and you want to imagine that your feet are implanted deeply into the ground, into the roots of the earth. And that's one way. You can go outside and you can literally find a beautiful, healthy, strong tree. And you can take off your shoes, stand on the roots of the tree in your bare feet. And the energy from the healthy, strong tree will help you. If you can do that for 15 minutes, and it will give you strength and it will ground you. The energy field of a big, strong, healthy tree is very, very, very healthy for you, and it will help with your wellness. And before we go, the third suggestion that I would like to say would be to manifest. Now, manifesting is bringing into your life whatever it is that you want, a goal or a dream. So I would like you to, there's 3 steps. The first step to manifesting is, you don't tell anyone. This is just your information. You tell no one, because the energy around your goal or dream or desire cannot be sent any negative energy. And so you don't want to share it with anyone. So what you need to do is, the first thing is not tell anyone, and to write it down on a piece of paper and then put it in your sock drawer. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I would like you to close your eyes, and I would like you to visualize whatever that thing is that you want, or whatever you want to do or excel at or have. I'd like you to close your eyes, and I would like you to visualize it. Visualize it with all your senses. Now, if you can bring joy to this visualization, like if you can imagine what you want and you have joy, then you can bring it to fruition. So you want to see it, you want to hear it, you want to smell it, you want to feel it in your mind. And if you can bring joy to it, you can have it. The third step is to talk about it as if you already have it. I always use the example of something materialistic, which is because it's easy, a yellow car. So I will visualize the yellow car, what its interior looks like, what does it smell like, what does it sound like, and if I can have joy, then I can have it. And then I talk about it as if I have it. So I say, my yellow car that's in my driveway, it has a beautiful color, it's shiny, it has black leather interior, it's a convertible, and I love driving around the town in my yellow car and going into some nature, some roads through nature in my yellow car. And if I can do all three of those things, then I can manifest my yellow car. Okay, quickly, our gemstone today is, okay, so this is an amethyst. It's a purple stone and it's incredibly protective. You see it? It's healing and purifying. It's claimed to help rid the mind of negative thoughts and bring forth humility, sincerity, and spiritual wisdom. I love that. It is also said to help promote sobriety. Amethyst is a natural tranquilizer. It relieves stress, strain, soothes irritability, balances mood swings, dispels anger, rage, fear, and anxiety. Wow. It alleviates sadness and grief and dissolves negativity. Amethyst activates spiritual awareness, opens intuition, and enhances psychic abilities. Wow, this is a fantastic stone. Well, thank you for joining me. We had a lovely guest today, a dream analyst, Layne Dalfen. Thank you for joining me. Please find me on Facebook, Mary Amy Official page, Instagram, Mary Amy Official page, and Twitter page, which is Intuitive Mary. And ask me questions, give me information. You can contact me at my website, maryamyofficial.com. Next week, we have a psychic coming. And if you would like a reading, please contact me, inbox me on Messenger, on Facebook, or one of my social medias, or send me an email. Let's construct only positive thoughts, words, and actions. Have a wonderful, wonderful week and happy holidays. Sending love and light. Have a great day. Bye.